It worked. The button on here worked. It's recording. That's crazy. Well, it's recording, so now we're in it. We started the recording. There's no stopping it now, so we may as well just get going, I guess. Hey, everybody. Welcome back to RC with Adam. I don't know if this is going to be a podcast. I don't know what this is. This is me talking. On my previous podcast, I talked about how I was going to tackle these piles of projects that I have here that have been stacking up and just, really just sucking my brain energy is really what I realize over time. And you may be in the same situation. So I thought, okay, maybe it would be good to bring you along as I do this. It makes me very uncomfortable as I like the closer I get to it. To actually turning on the camera and recording me talking and all this stuff. So that part doesn't really matter to you, except that the point there is you should do something that you think that you should do, even if it makes you uncomfortable. And probably the more uncomfortable you are, the more like resistance there is, where you're like, I don't know, maybe I should probably just go sit on the couch. That probably means that you should do that, even though it's absolutely terrifying. Anyway, all right, so I'm going to walk through, and because look, here's the deal. This a lot to most of you, this probably won't apply, and that's good actually. But I know that there's got to be at least one or two of you that are maybe down in the dumps because you have piles of stuff and you're like, oh my gosh, like you just have stuff everywhere and your mind's cluttered and you feel like trash. And so maybe this video will help you, because maybe you can walk through maybe you can walk through your stuff as I go through my stuff. We're going to take like 15 minutes here, I think, and see what we can get done. And that's a big part of this whole thing. We could talk about like decluttering and organization and stuff a lot more. But the big thing is just take a tiny little chunk, okay? So I'm going to, let's see, I'm trying to think how to, well, first of all, we need to set a timer. So I'll be right back. I'm going to set a timer. 1 second. Gonna get me a timer. All right, I have my timer here. So I'm going to set it for 15 minutes, and that's what we're going to do. And I don't know, hopefully, I might be just talking most of the time. So, well, I will be talking the whole time, but hopefully I'll still like get something done, even if I am talking as well. So let me clip this mic onto my shirt so that you can hear me, hopefully. All right, so first things first. So right here, and I don't know if you can see this on the camera, but I will be describing everything. So I'm in my office. This is a small office. The room is probably like 7 feet by 15 feet. So it's a very long room. Actually, longer than that. It's probably like 20 feet. Anyway, the point is there's not a whole lot of space. And I have these foam board project trays that I made filled with projects. And I took them out of my storage room because I think I was going to go through these, right? Like a month ago. Or actually, no, not a month ago, probably like 3 months ago. And I just set them on top of my desk here, except the problem is it's on top of my battery charging station here. And that's not good, because then I can't get to my batteries and stuff. And so really, the fact of the matter is, like, the biggest problem with this is that it's in the way. So like if you had shelves or something, or if you have space to go and put these somewhere else, that is an improvement. We're talking about improvement here, not making everything like perfectly how it should be. Like this desk down here, I have like a big shelf underneath my workbench desk, and it's really messy. It's cluttered, but I'd rather have it be cluttered than the top of my workbench, which needs to stay clear so I can start projects and do filming and stuff like that. However, right now it is a cluttered mess as well. So I may get to that. We'll see. In fact, that's probably the first thing I should do. So I'm gonna like do something, right? So check this out. So I've got like this. I got some FPV goggles, right? I'm not using these right now. Where should they go? How about this drawer here? I don't actually have a place for all of this. These drawers, I don't have them like assigned or whatever. So we're gonna put it in this drawer with some other FPV stuff. Same with this thing, or similar with this thing. Actually, I do need to get this out and fly it, so I want to keep it like handy, right? So that's always the trick, is like you want to keep it handy, but you don't want to keep it like, it should not get in the way of anything else. So this is not ideal, but I'm just gonna throw it down here, right? It sucks. I hate it because then I'm like, oh, it's a mess. And you know, it's not nice and whatever, but guess what? I just freed up a bunch of desk space right there. That probably took like 30 seconds. I got some filament here. This is gonna be really cool. Lee at Windcatcher RC sent me some filament to test out this 3D lab print filament. So we're going to be trying that out. But guess what? It doesn't need to go on my workbench because I'm not using it there. I'm going to put it by my 3D printer. There's a little bit of table space here, and that's a much better spot because it's next to the 3D printer. What's this that I just moved? It is a container of random screws and hardware. Not even sure why it was there in the first place. So that's going to go somewhere else eventually. So all right, so we made some progress. We feel good. That's fantastic. So usually, like honestly, what my thing that I'll do to figure things out is I just stand here and I stare at them. And so basically, if I did that, there would just be like a bunch of silence for a while, and that's, I know, like not very interesting to watch. You're not watching this because it's interesting. Probably you're probably watching this because you're like, I need help getting motivated to do this for myself. Anyway, so over here I have, let's see, on the top tray. So, and this is the problem, you see, because you have too many things going on, and then you're like, oh my gosh, what do I focus on? What's happening? And also, where does it all go? All right, so number one, this tray over here, I have a couple quads stacked up, a couple 7-inch quads. This one is this is an analog setup, and it is for I was testing out motor angle mounts, or motors mounted at an angle, which is super cool, but I'm not doing that right now. So it does not need to be in the way of anything. I would put this on the wall, but I don't know if I have, do I have like a, here, check this out. I know we're going a little bit like extra, okay? But what I'm gonna do is I'm actually gonna get this hardware box that I just found. I'm going to find a little nail because I don't know where my thumbtacks went. I may be out of thumbtacks. So I'm just gonna dig around in here and try and find a nail or something. Just a little tiny nail. There we go. Actually, that might be too tiny. All right, whatever. Here's a nail. Cool. That's actually kind of a big nail, but that's okay because the quad is kind of big, and I've got a hammer somewhere. Dang it, where's my hammer? And this is why we organize things and clean things up, because I don't know where my hammer is. That's embarrassing. All right. Well, guess what? When we don't have something, we improvise. So I have a chisel, right? So I'm gonna just take, I think there's actually already a hole here. Oh, look, I don't even need, oh shoot, I don't even need the chisel. Maybe there. All right, just tap that in just a little bit. Just tap it in. Just tap it in. Just tap, tap, tap. Tap-a-roo. Look at that. All right, there's already a hole in there. See, I didn't even really need the hammer. It all works out. All right, take this guy. Okay, I'm gonna take the 7-inch quad, use the strap to hold it up on the wall, and shabamo. I get it up out of my way, and I get to look at it on the wall, which is cool. Although sometimes you might not want to have things on the wall because it might be too distracting as well. Anywho, all right, next thing. So there's this project tray still with the 7-inch. This is my waterproof testing quad, and it just so happens that I actually need to get my butt in gear and like kind of make some progress on this project, and also kind of like finish it up, or not finish it up, it's never going to be finished, but get a quad ready because I'm going to be doing that soon. And actually I want to work on that today, or at least get started. So I'm going to set it in that spot that I just cleared off on my workbench here. And now that's going to bring that to the front of my attention, because I need to do it like today and tomorrow. If I didn't need to do it until like next week, I wouldn't do it. Cool. So now I can access my batteries and charge them, and that is really important. Okay. Next thing here, next project tray we're looking at. This is a partial build. So I've got a 5-inch quad frame with a stack on there and a couple of motors, to 3 motors attached. The other motors floating around here somewhere. And this was a build that I was doing, and I did not finish it for some reason. This is the AOS 7 V2 frame, I think. I'm sorry, AOS 5.5 frame. Yeah, anyway, so that part doesn't really matter too much. And then I have, check this out, I have some FPV worry-free coating. But, you know, here's the bummer. This expires, it expired like a couple months ago. So it expired June 6th, 2024. Is it still good? I don't know. Maybe that's a video. Maybe that's a video in itself. There's this bottle here. Now, when we go, oh geez, that is hard. No, yeah, that's solid. That is yeah, no, that's unfortunate. That's been used up. It's hardened on me. I don't, well, shoot, you know what? Hey, guess what? Check this out. We're gonna do the video right now. Like, I'm going to open up this FPV worry-free, which expired a couple months ago, brand new in the sealed package. Will it actually work? Or is it just hardened up? It's hardened up. Disappointment. Yeah, that is disappointing. But it's also really freeing because how are we doing on time? We have 5 minutes left. Wow. All right. Most of this time was talking. And here's the thing. The other thing that's going to happen once you get started doing this is you're going to get momentum, and you're going to like probably do other stuff that you weren't planning on doing. And I say that's okay, because that's kind of part of the point. Oh my gosh. Like if I know the lighting is really bad right now, but if you could see this, if it would focus on that, it probably won't. That's okay. So I'm pressing a toothpick into the bottle of FPV worry-free, and it's like, actually it snapped off. It's like pressing into like hardened gelatin, like a candle or something, or like ballistic gelatin. It's not good. So that's disappointing, especially because I'm pretty sure all the other products on the market, you know, they're not going to expire like that, because that's surprising too. Like, it's all sealed up in a sealed package, and then, you know, I mean, granted, it's this was probably like 2 years ago, at least a year ago, maybe just a year ago, that Brandon FPV, he actually reached out to me and said, hey, you know, you want to try out some of this new and improved stuff? And I was like, no, he's like, how has your experience been or whatever? And I was like, honestly, not that great. Or it could be better. It seemed like it was kind of liquidy. So I did try out the new stuff, but I didn't make a video of it or anything. So I feel like I kind of wasted it. But here's the good part about that. So don't get bummed out about, you know, stuff that didn't happen, or, you know, you could have done this or would have, whatever. The great thing is now we don't have to worry about it. You don't have to be thinking about it. So here's what I'm going to do. First thing, number one thing, always trash. Okay, what is trash? I'm going to go over here to my workbench so I can set this tray on the workbench. We got my trash can right here. And wow, it's getting pretty full. And I am going to start throwing away the trash. So I'm going to throw away wrappers. I'm going to throw away business cards that I don't need. These tools are actually still kind of good. There's like these little plastic tools, little toothpick tools. We could use that. Stickers, we'll keep some stickers. Kids love stickers. We got a little brush. You know, so I'm going through here. Oh, that's another really good thing though, that he did, that Brandon did improve about the FPV worry-free, is that now it includes like a lot more silicone USB protector cover things. So what I could leave them in the FPV worry-free package. Maybe I will for now, actually. But I feel like I might forget about them. In fact, I would forget about them. So I'm just going to go through this, throw away the packaging. I have a little container, or a little like bag somewhere. here's a container. I have this little plastic container. I'm just going to put all those USB protectors in there. And the reason why is, the reason why I'm putting them in a different container is because that way I can actually see them, and I'll know like where they are, and I won't just be seeing this, FPV worry-free container or this bag, and then be thinking, oh yeah, that's FPV worry-free. So it just kind of simplifies things a little bit. I don't know if I need those sticks. Oh, that's a big stick. That's a plastic straw. Interesting. Little brush. All right, we'll do something with those. I'm gonna put these like in my little something here. Let me put it. I don't. You know what? Let's see. Yeah. All right. I'm just gonna stick it in here. All right. Sorry, I had a little brain stall there, and that can happen sometimes. You have a little brain stall. So at least this way, and again, like. I'm trying to not get too bogged down with like the little details, right? Of like, oh, do I keep this little straw thing? Should I keep it? Do I not keep it? Do I need it? Like, no, don't worry about it. Just put it somewhere and get it out of the way. So, FPV worry-free tubes. Again, this is such one of those things where I'd be like, oh yeah, I should keep this tube so then I can show people and like make a video. And it's like, no, I shouldn't. I should just throw it away because I'm probably not going to make a video showing that. And even so, like, I don't know if that's really much to show. It's basically just like, yeah, there's, everybody's probably seen a tube of, silicone or something that has dried up. And it's like, yeah, it looks like that. So, okay, cool. Anyway, so on this build tray, I've got, screws, and I've got a receiver here. I got an antenna, FPV antenna, and that's fine actually. I'm going to keep this. I think I will keep this on the build tray because everything is in pieces. Because right now I don't really want to. I don't really want to. I don't need to make a decision of like, oh, there's my timer. I don't really need to make a decision of like. What am I going to do with this? Do I need to do something with it right now? Blah, blah, blah. That's like kind of for later. That would be like, put that on your schedule of like, hey, I'm going to take 30 minutes, just work on this and figure out what I want to do with it. We're still kind of short on space actually, to be honest with you. But part of the point of this build tray is so that all the components like actually stay together. So I'm going to keep it on the build tray. And sometimes I think I need more shelves, but maybe I don't need more shelves. Let's see, here we go. Here's a drawer in here, and boop, there it goes in the drawer. It kind of fits. That doesn't fit that well. So that's not ideal. And it's a little bit, it's a little bit embarrassing, and I'm going to know that that's in that drawer. But here's the important thing. It's not getting in the way of the important stuff that we know that we need to be doing like on a daily basis, okay? So that's an improvement. That right there is an improvement. So don't let that be like, it's not that like, oh, we just took it from here and we shoved it, somewhere. We kind of shoved it somewhere, but it's an improvement. It's better. It's better this way. Okay, next, well, that was 15 minutes. So if you want to stop now, you can definitely stop and be like, hey, we made some progress. We cleared off part of the desk. We got that waterproof quad project we know we need to work on the desk. We got one of the other projects. We cleaned that up. We got rid of trash because that was trash, that FPV worry-free stuff that was all used up. We've got that other quad is in the drawer. And I don't know if I described that well. I put it in a drawer of this like dresser drawer thing that I put my 3D printer on. It works pretty well. So the next project is this little Cinewhoop, and actually let me set a timer here just so I can keep track of time. Let's do another 15, huh? Let's just push it to 30. Why not? Because again, like, and this is what always happens. You go, oh, I don't have time, right? Like right now it's Monday. oh, I don't have time. I got all these things that I need to do, you know, Monday and blah blah blah. Get ready for the week and all this stuff. Well, arguably, this like office cleanup should have been done like on Friday, right? Friday afternoon. But the point is this is stuff that is taking up brain power, and it's taking up space, and it's getting in the way of creativity and progress. So, and also it's been put off for months, right? So it's like, what's 15 minutes, half an hour to do something that has been like bugging you for months, right? Okay, so back to work here. We have the Cinerace 20. I took this apart, and this was, what was I going to do with it? I think I was like going to make a new frame for this. And, oh, that's what I should do. I should make a new frame for that. That would be cool. I think I was gonna turn it into a quad that does not have ducts, and it's like more of like a FPV, or obviously FPV, but like just like a little like mini freestyle quad, basically. All right. So anyway, but the point is, on this tray we have a bunch of little pieces, which is part of the point of the tray, you know, to catch all the little pieces. So we have a lot of waterproofing stuff on here, and I'm gonna take this again over to my workbench here, and we're going to see, let's see here. So I have a bunch of like Corrosion X, because I have waterproofing stuff on this tray. This is also the tray, I guess, that I was testing out waterproofing the O3 air unit and doing the heat tests. I have videos of that, or at least of the heat test part. So I have a bunch of heat sinks, little heat sinks on here. I have a little lens cloth. I've got a little fan, okay? So basically, some of this is just putting it back where it's supposed to go. So I have this 388 electronics grade silicone, and I have some other electronics grade silicone. Ooh, that feels hard. No, it's hard. It's done. Dang it. Oh, because it leaked out the bottom. Okay. Because I have this Chip Quick EGS 10C-20G, maybe. Electronic grade silicone. That's trash. I have some FPV Worry Free up in here. Also trash, because it is dried out. So again, it's like that's part of the point of going through all this stuff, and because projects that you've been working on and that have been sitting there for a long time probably are not the same as when you left them. Okay, so yeah, it can be a real bummer, and it can be very saddening and all that stuff, but you know, be sad for a couple minutes and then get over it, and just be glad that you're making progress, you know, that you're you know, doing something with it. All right, so this other silicone is good. So I have this box here that I just pulled out, or this, yeah, box, and it has like, it kind of has random stuff, but it does have my waterproofing stuff. It has fans, little miniature fans that I was playing around with for cooling purposes, to cool like the air unit and stuff. So I'm gonna have to go through this box at some point in the future later. That's the same thing, some point in the future later. but what I mean is at another time. So I'm just gonna stick the fan in here. We've got some soldering stuff. We have other waterproofing stuff. We've got the heat sinks. This is where the heat sinks go. So I'm not going to get super like, I don't want to get so distracted that I'm like going down another path where I'm like trying to organize this and this and this, because then, you know, sometimes if you do that too much, then you won't actually like accomplish anything, and you'll just feel like you opened up, you have more questions than answers, basically. Which sometimes it can be good if you're doing like an exploratory kind of thing. All right, there's a little connector, trash. This is a little lens cloth. I don't know what would that be for? What is it, PGY type? Trash. All right, so zip ties, trash. Old rubber band. It's not very stretchy, honestly. I'm gonna say that's trash because they look dried out. Okay, heat sinks. All right, we got a SD card here. SD card that looks, it's got some residue on it. I think it used to be in, I think it was in a air unit that probably went underwater. So I'm going to gather up these heat sinks, and where's my heat sink container? I've got a heatsink container somewhere. Oh, I know where it is. It's inside this this rolling thing here. Let's see if I think you can see that on the camera. Maybe this is a Craftsman like rolling tool chest thing. It's pretty cool. I like it quite a bit. But unfortunately, I'm not really using it like in an optimized way right now. And the project trays are sitting on top of it, and so that's partly why we need to go through the project trays, because they're getting in the way of that. All right, I've got a key card here. It's still mostly good, so I'm going to keep that. I'm going to put it in my toolbox that I need to organize and go through, but I know that that's the kind of thing that would go in there. So I have parts for this drone, okay? So just a few parts really, so I really don't even need this whole project tray. I have what is this, a Vista connector. I don't know if this is useful or not. I am going to keep it with the project tray. Got little pieces of trash here. Even just going through and cleaning up the trash is really great. It'll make you feel really good. I have a battery strap here that where do I keep my battery straps? I don't know where I keep my battery straps. So for now, I'm going to toss it in this drawer that has other quad stuff, I guess. So I've got Corrosion X in here. And I have, oh man, I guess I had some FPV worry-free inside this syringe. Oh, whoa. It like dried up, but I'm pulling it out, and it's like the shape of the syringe. Woo! Yeah, that'll be tricky to get out. Let me just see real quick if I can get that out. Because, I mean, it's hard to tell sometimes which projects you should do like right then and which you shouldn't. And people have different rules about that, about like, oh, if it only takes this long, then just do that project right then. So like what I'm trying to figure out right now is whether this syringe can be reused or not. This is like one of those like craft syringes for, putting, I guess, glue or something in. Ugh, this is coming out in big old chunks. But that may be what needs to happen here. So I'm going to pop this out, like trying to get this dried up silicone stuff out of this. And there we go. That's pretty close. Yeah, so we can reuse this syringe. Great. So we'll just stick that back together. And I'm going to put all this Corrosion X stuff, basically this waterproofing stuff. Tell you what, I'm going to put it actually on this project tray for right now. The one for the waterproofing drone project. Hey, that's a good idea. So we're just going to kind of repurpose that right now. And then really all of this stuff could fit on a smaller tray, and maybe it should. Or maybe I could combine it with another tray potentially. The tray idea, it is pretty good. But the tricky part is like, I don't necessarily need, or I should not have 10 projects going on like at once. It's very hard, and they stack up easily, like literally stack up, like you saw right here in a pile. And I've got an SD card. I'm going to go through that one later. See if we can still use that. So, but as far as the project trays, it is nice. The best thing about the project trays is that it keeps your work desk clear. And so, it's bad that the project trays pile up in inconvenient places. However, having the whole project on a tray is much better than just having it strewn all over your desk. And because then you can at least go, okay, time to clean up the desk, stick everything I'm working on that's related to that project on the tray, move the tray. So really the biggest problem here is I just don't have a specific spot to put all of these trays. But again, you still got to keep things like under control. You still got to keep tabs on stuff. So let's just, do I have a box? All right, I'll do that later. I think later, probably once I'm finished filming this, I'll get it like a smaller box, I think, and put that drone in there. Or what I might do is keep it on the project tray. Well, either way. But what I need to do is if that's a worthwhile project, I need to say, okay, when am I actually going to do it? And I need to put it on my calendar and then do it at that time. Because all of these projects, they just sit around because it's always like, yeah, well, when I get around to, when I have some time, I'll work on that. It's like, no, you're not going to have time. You're not going to have time, because you're not a little baby anymore. There's no time. Anyway, thanks, Arnold. The next one, all right, we're chugging through here. This is a lot of work. My back hurts. I don't know why. Maybe my posture's bad. Oh man, I'm gonna watch this later and be like, oh, because I probably have bad posture because I'm not even thinking about it. I'm just working on this. Okay, next one. Here's the next one. We have a couple minutes left, and I'm gonna do a couple more minutes just in case I need to. This one right here, as you can probably hear, this one is this is not really a build. This one is actually a disassembly, I guess. This was a drone that I tried to waterproof, had problems with it. Flight controller kept exploding or something like that. So this one, like, we need to do some stuff with, we need to. There's a lot going on here. All right, rubber band. My rubber band's going in the rubber band bag. Got a propeller. It's a decent propeller. Propellers go where the propellers go. I have a different spot for the propellers, but that's fine. We'll just leave that there for now. Because remember, trash first. It's very obvious, and we can feel good, like we're doing something. Get rid of all that trash. Well, and we are doing something. We're getting rid of the trash. And here's kind of an example of one thing that can happen with a project trays that can be a problem. If you have tools or bits on the project tray, then they can get kind of lost because you're like, okay, which project was that with, and what did I do with it, and all this different stuff. So let's see. These are spare parts. I have spare parts from. I think these are spare screws, M3 screws, and standoffs from the AOS 7 frame. The Falcon 7. No, not AOS. Falcon 7. Well, I think, yeah, that's right. It was a partnership. Anyway, that doesn't really matter. I have bits all over the place here, these little bits. So, the little bits here. So the question is, what do I want to do with the little bits? Do I want to put them back together? I guess I'll put them back in this bit holder for the moment. I don't know. That's not a very good bit holder, to be honest with you. I should probably 3D print a big tray that will hold all of these bits. So that would be much better, but I want to put the bits back in here for now. And then we'll get back to that one. Oh yeah, what even is that? I don't know. I don't know what that is. Different size types of bits. That's what I was trying to figure out what that was. So not super ideal, but we're going to put these back in here. Okay. That one's just not going. Okay, cool. You got all the bits back in here. So at least we can get that part, like, kind of taken care of. Let's stick that in there. It's like this little tube. So there's like these bits in this tube, and it's got like these rubber holders and stuff. So I'm going to stick that with the rest of the bits in my toolbox. So now we're just left, and the little timer beeped. That was our 30-minute mark. Looks like, yep, we're at 34 minutes on the camera. It's showing. I'm going to give myself, can we do it in 10 more minutes? I think we can do it in 10 more minutes. Let's do 10 more minutes. And then we'll, I think we'll have gotten through all of these trays. All right, so the biggest thing on this tray right here is what is that? Oh, all right, so I have a 4-in-1 ESC with 4 motors connected to it. I'm pretty sure these motors are good motors, and I think the ESC might actually be good too. I have a flight controller connected to that, but I'm pretty sure the flight controller is bad. And honestly, like, because, you know, because I'm a super busy Mr. Executive Man, I don't have time to be like troubleshooting this one little tiny of a flight controller when it probably doesn't work, and then, you know, and then trying to like, I got this connector out, and then trying to like, I don't know, go through and figure out what happened. Does it work? Does it not? I don't know. So what I'm going to do is just take this flight controller off of here. I'm trying to unplug it. There we go. It was waterproofed, but it wasn't working right. So I'm pretty sure it is not working correctly. And I'm going to take it and throw it in the trash. Feel the power. The power of the trash can. So now we just have this ESC, which this ESC may be trash also. I don't know, but it may be. It has a bunch of sand on it. But all the motors are connected to it right now. So I would need to desolder the motors, or unsolder the motors. Actually, incorrect. If it is trash, I could basically cut my losses and just chop off all the connectors, not bother with soldering. I have like a 5 volt. It's a 12 to 30 volt in and a 5 to 9 volt out. So that's like a power supply thing for the DJI air unit thingy dingy. But anywho, so this, right, so like we got this whole thing. I could basically just shove this whole thing in my motor container, wherever that is. I think I put my motor stuff in here. So again, I'm just gonna take this whole chunk and just shove it in the drawer. That's like kind of the FPV motor drawer stuff. Okay, I'm going to take this container of hardware, and you know what though? That frame, I'm pretty sure it's all put together. So I think these are just spare parts. So guess what I'm gonna do? I am going to take all of the spare hardware that's in here, because again, we're trying to just clean this up and get this out of the way and, you know, get on with our lives. We're not trying to like make everything the most ideal situation. I'm going to take all the hardware and just put it in this little box right here. Okay, and I do realize that if you're watching this, you're probably just seeing me standing at a desk doing something, and then if you're listening, you don't really get to see what I'm actually doing anyway. So I guess either way, you know, it's pretty much the same. So anyway, I'm still trying to figure that out, you know, in terms of like whether to be filming what I'm doing, because then it turns it into a video, or like not filming it at all, and then it turns into like a podcast. But then sometimes I want to show it in case you want to watch it like a video. But I have noticed for me, it takes way more effort to even just try to make a video versus just doing the audio. But it also comes way more naturally to do the audio as well. All right, so I have a little receiver. So all the hardware, screws and whatnot goes in there. I have some spare wires, spare wiring here. So the wires with the connectors are gonna go, and I think the spare receiver, this is like a Fly Sky aftermarket receiver. These are gonna go in my little electronics box, which really shouldn't be a little box because I have a lot of electronics. Although maybe it should be little and I just need to get rid of a bunch of stuff. But that is a project for another day. And then like I also have, you know, I've got, gosh, let's see, here's a XT30 connector that is attached to a, like a, what is this? This is one of those battery drainer things. You know what? Oh, that's not even a regular XT30 because they cut that part off. Or maybe I cut it off. All right. In the trash it goes. You know, it's a crazy thing, and especially when I was starting out with the RC stuff, every little bit was so precious. You know, every little, you know, wire and board and component and this and that. It was, you know, I didn't have much, and so I would just keep all my spare parts, and so I could reuse them and everything. But let's see, this capacitor's good. I got a little capacitor here. I got to put this away. So again, I kind of need to speed this up. I am getting a little bit more into the details. Oh, but to finish that thought was, now I realize that most of the time, fiddling with little tiny electronics and trying to save little tiny things, it's not worth my time, which makes me kind of sad, because I kind of wish that, well, I wish that I could do those things. I wish I didn't have to throw things away or waste things. But I guess on the other hand, the worst thing to waste is time, right? So that's just kind of how that goes. All right, so I have this tray almost totally cleaned off. I've got a, what is this? This is a little piece of heat shrink. I'm going to put my heat shrink away. All right, okay. I have a motor that is, let's say, what does it say? It says broken wire. So one of the wires is broken. Okay, so this motor is like definitely not good anymore. But it could be a good spare part. I have a bag that has just like old motors and stuff, because I do like to keep things to some extent to repurpose them, especially more useful things like motors, because you could like basically use it like a bearing or something like that. They could be kind of played with and used for stuff. All right, I've got my little container of hardware. I'm going to put this with I guess with my other hardware stuff. I don't know, I guess down here on the desk for now. That's kind of whole other thing I need to condense and organize, is all my hardware, because I have a bunch of different sections or a bunch of different containers of it and all that. All right, now the nice thing is all these little tiny pieces and the little, I don't know, dirt and little knickknacks, whatever was on this tray, I can just dump out, and ta-da! We have a clean tray. Well, it's not clean, but we have a empty tray. So that empty tray could go somewhere and to be reused once again. So we have this one, and this needs to go. So again, but this is the Cinerace 20, the small one that I said I was going to turn into like a freestyle quad, like a little mini one, because that'd be fun. But I'm going to stick this like anywhere else. I guess I'll stick it. Can I stick this with can I put it with this tray? That's too big. This tray is smaller. Is it the same size? It's the same size. Okay. I don't know. I'm just trying to put this somewhere. That's dumb. Wait, is that working? No, it's not working. That's not big enough apparently. Huh. Well, would you imagine that? How about that? How about this guy? That one's not big enough either. Okay, whatever. Like I said, I am going to put this in a smaller container once I get done with this. All right. Ow! Just stubbed my toe. All right. Lastly, we have on this tray, we have the Speedy Bee. What is this? It's a frame. It's their new frame. It's like their Speedy Bee. I don't know. It's not written down anywhere, so I don't remember what it is. It's a frame. I did a frame build on this, and this would probably be a great new frame to test out. And I haven't done that yet. So this frame right here, like it doesn't need to be on a tray because I'm not actually building it. There's my timer again. We're gonna get wrapped up here. So basically all this stuff, okay, we can either put in a container or maybe just like a big Ziploc bag, because I have a bunch of those, right? That's gotta be, better than a big old tray taking up everything. Now, would I like to, actually use this and build it? Yes, I would. But when is that actually going to happen? I don't know yet. I don't know. And until it's like actually time to build this thing and put it together, I'm just going to have to basically keep it in as compact of a space as possible and clean up the trash as well. So there's a bunch of little plastic bags, little knickknacks and doodads. Throw these away and just basically, condense and consolidate. And that at least is something. That is definitely something. Take all these little parts, stick them in there so that I don't lose them. Put them in there together. All right, there we go. Screw, screw, screw. 3 screws there. All these little parts and pieces. Stick them in there. Yeah, and then some of this stuff, and I have like a lot more as well. Not in this office space, but in like what I call like my storage room, which is kind of like I think will also be a 3D printing room. But, getting rid of this stuff or, taking care of it and keeping track of it and all that stuff, regaining control basically of your space feels really great. And, some of this stuff I might just give away. If I don't think I'm actually going to use it, or if it's been sitting around, I may as well just give it to somebody who will use it. But so I'm trying to figure out a good way of doing that, because I wish I could just give stuff away all the time, but it's not really like realistic with like shipping and stuff like that. Plus, sometimes it's not even like a full set, so it'd just be like random parts. Anyway, so there we go. That's the Speedy Bee frame. Check this out. We can stick this in our drawer that has other quadcopter parts and stuff. All right, and then again, we're gonna need to come back someday to that and, probably go through it again or organize it or something. So it's not the most ideal, but guess what? I don't have these trays sticking around on top of things anymore. And I'm gonna I'll probably actually go put these in the storage room so that they're not even in here. All right, I think that's good enough for now. Thank you for joining me. I hope this was helpful in some way to you, and maybe you got some of your stuff done. Is it okay? Then I was tracking my face. There we go. Anyway, I always feel like there's something else I need to cover, but that's what tomorrow's for, and that's what another video is for. So thanks for joining me. If this helped you, please let me know, and I will make more videos like this. And I might make more videos like this anyway. It's just kind of a new thing I'm experimenting with, kind of dealing with other issues that I think other people would experience, and also kind of as it relates to the RC hobby and stuff, because that's what I have a lot of. Like, that's the junk that clutters up stuff that ends up taking over my brain. So, all right, have a fantastic week. Stay creative, keep flying, go build something, keep thinking, use your brain, and I will see you again very soon.